If you are trying to build a business and you feel exhausted, overwhelmed, or like you're constantly pushing yourself, I want to pause you right here. Because burnout doesn't usually happen because someone is lazy, unmotivated, or bad at business. Burnout happens when your nervous system has been working overtime for way too long. Today, I want to talk about how to build a business without burning out your nervous system and why so many entrepreneurs unintentionally do exactly that. Hi, I'm Sharon McLaughlin. I'm a therapist and a business owner. Starting a business isn't just a career decision. It's a nervous system experience. When you work for yourself, there's no external structure telling you when to stop, when to rest, and when you've done enough. Everything becomes self-directed. And so that's where things get really tricky, especially if old beliefs are quietly driving how you work. Many aspiring entrepreneurs carry beliefs like, I'm not good enough, I have to prove myself, my value comes from what I produce, if I slow down, I'll fall behind, and I have to earn acceptance. These beliefs often show up as people-pleasing, perfectionism, or high achievement. And while there may be grounded reasons for wanting to start a business, freedom, flexibility, purpose, those motivations can quickly get tangled in with fear, rejection, and self-doubt. When that happens, business stops being value-driven and starts to be fear-driven. Self-employment requires self-accountability. There's no one managing your schedule, pacing your workload, or telling you when you're doing too much or not enough. That's why self-awareness is essential, because without it, it's easy to unknowingly recreate the same pressure-filled environment that you were trying to escape. Your body will tell you when something is off through anxiety, exhaustion, irritability, or shutdown. That's not weakness. That's your nervous system seeking balance. When decisions about time, productivity, and pace are driven by fear, internal conflict builds. You might feel constantly tense, rushed, or behind, even when you're working nonstop. And often, people respond by telling themselves they just need to try harder. But the issue isn't effort, it's misalignment. One side of burnout looks like unproductivity. This is where it's often driven by fear and overwhelm. You might start and stop repeatedly. You feel frozen by too many options. You avoid choosing a direction because you're afraid of choosing the wrong one. Choosing nothing can feel safer, but it actually increases anxiety. Because when you do nothing, you're unintentionally reinforcing beliefs like, I can't do this, I'm not capable, and this will never work. It's not because those beliefs are true, but because nothing is happening to challenge them. The other side of burnout is overproductivity. This is often driven by thoughts like, what if they were right about me? I have to prove myself, and I have to earn my place. Overworking can bring praise, validation, and short-term success, but it sets an expectation that just isn't sustainable, and the nervous system eventually pushes back. Burnout is not failure. It's the system operating outside of its capacity. One of the risks of overproductivity is that it often is rewarded. Praise messages can quietly reinforce the message that I'm only valuable when I'm achieving. When productivity becomes tied to worth, rest feels unsafe. Slowing down can feel like losing your identity or even a sense of security. That's why awareness matters so much. The goal isn't to get rid of fear. The goal is to recognize when fear is present without putting it in charge. When you can acknowledge fear while staying grounded, you gain choice. You can ask things like, what do I actually need right now? What pace is sustainable for me? Or what aligns with my values, not just my anxiety? This is where strategy becomes supportive instead of depleting. Building a business that supports your nervous system means setting a schedule that aligns with your values, creating consistency without rigidity, including rest as protection, not something you earn, and measuring success beyond speed and output. When productivity is guided by needs instead of fear, your nervous system doesn't fight your success, it supports it. You don't need a hustle to be worthy. Your business does not need to cost you your health, your peace, or your identity. Burnout is often a sign that you have old beliefs that are running new systems. And when you bring awareness, compassion, and intention into how you build, your nervous system doesn't have to work against you. You're allowed to build a business that works for you. That's the whole point, right? If this resonates with you, you're not alone. And if fear, self-doubt, or burnout are shaping how you work, support can help you shift that pattern without forcing yourself to become someone that you're not. You deserve a business that supports your life and doesn't consume it. If this is helpful, you can like, subscribe, or share with someone who's building something of their own. And remember, you can grow without burning out.